All right. So moving on to the next topic, Southern Poverty Law Center has been indicted for federal charges. According to the U.S. Justice Department, a grand jury in Alabama charged the organization for wire fraud, false statements, and ensuring the bank has been conspiring to commit concealed money laundering. Sheesh. Those are some big charges.
Crazy
Those are
these
some
days.
big charges. So yeah, that doesn't look good. They're
No, it
saying
doesn't.
from 2014 to 2023, the SPLC secretly has been using over $3 million in donors' fund to pay off informants linked to conspiracies with the Ku Klux Klan and neo-Nazi organization. This is crazy. Just reading it, it just sounds crazy because they're supposed to be providing justice for people who have been, look at TT's face.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that one.
Yeah, this is a nonprofit civil rights organization that was founded back in the 70s in Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, to advocate for people against hate groups, discrimination, and promoting tolerance within education, making sure everyone has equal share. But they're actually doing the opposite. So this should be an interesting case. Now I'm going to be following this to see how this indictment turns out. TT, I know this is all you. This is your topic, all about law. Let's hear what you got.
Okay, so they claim that these allegations were false, but then proceed to say the program was kept quiet because they wanted to protect the safety of informants. Which one is it gonna be?
Exactly.
Now I don't know much about the process of informants, but I do know for a fact to gain information you have to give something to them. In this case, it was money. Taking money from donors and using it for things that they may not be aware of is kind of crazy, because I thought that donors had to be aware of where their money was going towards. Funding hate groups is just pure evil to me. It's pure evil, especially when you're basically like put in place to tackle the problems that come from these groups. So that's my opinion on everything. I too will be following this because it's very interesting to me that you're supposed to be protecting these people, but you're collecting information from leaders. Like, I don't know. I just don't get it.
They claim no wrongdoings is what they say. No wrongdoings.
Oh, okay. Funding.
I think the concept of wrong varies from person to person.
That's a good way to look at it.
That's true.
Great point. Because
what? Jimmy?
Well, listen, I mean, listen, so let's get to it. First and foremost, this whole initiative is a part of the administration of my cousin Donald Trump. Listen, so the whole purpose was to start targeting these organizations who were attacking the white nationalist organizations. So the Southern Poverty Law Center, nonprofit organization, back in the 70s, when there was huge issues, obviously, as we know, leading out of the 60s, civil rights going on, there was obviously still a lot of racism and a lot of targeting towards minorities, blacks and brown people here in this country, especially down in the South in Alabama, where this organization was founded at. And the organization's premise was to create legislation to support the minority people. Now, when they would get the donations, what they were doing during those times were actually paying informants during the 70s, and actually a little bit before the organization was founded, but to officially make everything official whistle. Once the organization was incorporated and founded, they used some of those funds to pay informants to find out what the KKK and white nationalist organizations were planning to do to target black and brown people. So it was a way to get information back in those days when legislation was very loose. You fast forward now, you have a target on your back. You have an administration that's against DEI. Did I say it right? Miss TT, is it DEI? All these damn acronyms, DEI, IEP, I don't know. All I know is I was taught ABCs in school. Now y'all want to throw the alphabets all over the place. But anyway, when you have these sort of legislative pieces now targeting equality, targeting minorities, and breaking down the infrastructure that was put in place to empower people of color, this is what you have. You have now resources and legality going after an organization that had been doing these types of things for decades. Now, when you have this, we know that money gets put in the wrong people's hands. And this is where the spinoff gets set, because the Southern Poverty Law Center, they thought they were actually playing the federal government's game. That's what the feds do. That's what the state does. They go ahead and fight. They gonna lock you up. If you're out there moving some 8 balls or some kilos of you know what, and you get caught up, they're gonna get you and they're gonna do what? Give you a deal. TT, tell me I'm wrong. They're gonna throw you a deal. All right, you either take the deal, or you plead guilty and take the hit and take the time. Some folks out there become what they call CIs, confidential informants, and they get paid money too. They make money. Hell, they make pretty good, decent salary there, giving up information. And so it's the same thing what they were doing. We're trying to utilize that same tactic within these organizations, but funding, individuals who were part of these white nationalist and KKK groups. And here we are now. So they just got themselves caught up in the pickle, and unfortunate, down here in the South, I find myself driving to old Alabama to go see the civil rights. I told you my mom was black and my dad is a redneck, so half of my family's black. I wanted to tap back into my black side and roll to old Alabama to go see the Civil Rights Museum in Montgomery. And, I go there and you see the Southern Poverty Law Center have their name on the building. And you know what? The damn building was closed. I drove my ass almost 2 hours. Hilarious. The building's closed. So that lets you know they got some issues going on, and I hope they get it fixed soon.